Hi, and welcome to Conversations and Cocktails. Today we've hit the road, so we are not at Cafe Racer, as you may have noticed. We're interviewing Fae Phelan, also known as Fae Pink, part owner of the Can. So we are having our cocktail today, and this is a gin tonic with a little bit of, I think, mango LaCroix. And our tonic is from a bar that no longer exists in Pioneer Square in Seattle. And if you know anything about Seattle, you know that all of the lovely little legacy bars are kind of disappearing. But we still have a little bit of tonic left. So I'm very excited to have some vintage tonic in my gin and tonic. Hi, welcome to Conversations and Cocktails. We've got Fae Phelan, and we are having gin and tonics, yes, with a little bit of tonic from a former Seattle bar. So, Fae, I'm so excited to be with you. Fae is a partner in the Can, which I would definitely say is a legacy restaurant in Seattle. It's been, how long has the Can been in business?
12 years.
12 years, and you are the primary choreographer at this point, is that right?
Yep.
So tell me how you got your beginnings, because I think you were a dancer, is that correct? And you've been dancing since you were a child?
Yeah, I've been dancing for more years than I can even count, since I was 3 years old. And I've pretty much been doing the same thing my whole life. I never had that period of wondering what I was going to do. I've always been making up dances in my living room and dancing with friends and making costumes and stuff like that. But yeah, I got my BFA in dance from Cornish, which is a Seattle arts college. And I was a cheerleader for the Seahawks and danced for a entertainment company that does Vegas shows, and in a modern dance company for a while, lots of different types of things.
So much dancing. So then you went from dancing, from doing the dance, to designing dances.
Yeah.
And I know that, so we're lucky, I feel like, I'm lucky, that I get to see a lot of your art in Seattle at the Can. However, there's a lot of other little one-offs that you've done in different places. Can you tell me about that?
Let's see. I choreographed a Nickelodeon commercial with Russell Wilson. I did a big Microsoft party with Amy Sedaris, where we had a bunch of dancers that were also cheerleaders for like 20,000 people for this huge Microsoft event.
Wow.
So those were some of like the cooler people that I got to work with. And then I had my own burlesque troupe that performed for years that I choreographed for, and we won the Miss Exotic World pageant.
Miss Exotic
which
World
was really fun.
pageant.
Yeah,
what does that mean? What is
called,
that?
It's called the Burlesque Hall of Fame now at this point. When I did it, it was Miss Exotic World. But it's just where all the burlesque performers from all over the world get together and have basically like a pageant.
That's fun.
Yeah, and you can compete in different categories.
There's different categories of burlesque.
So there's like a queen and a duo group, or like a huge like ensemble, boylesque, things like that. So that was super fun.
Yeah. I mean, I love burlesque personally. And when before I started coming to the Can and watching your shows, my idea of burlesque was much different. So it was like, somebody kind of went and learned how to wear bra and panties and kind of wiggle around for body confidence. And I mean, it's good. It's all very, very good, but much different than what I see at the Can.
Yeah.
At the Can, I see a very professional level of dance that I would almost expect to see at a ballet performance. I mean, it's amazing to me. So can you explain the difference between your type of burlesque versus maybe what I thought before burlesque was?
Right. So for me, I think the way that we do burlesque at Can, it's more part of the costume. So you'll see women in pasties, and you'll see elements of reveal, but it's not all about the reveal. That story that you know that's going to happen through the course of a piece that you see, where it's like a glove comes off and then the stocking comes off and eventually you're going to see tassels swirling. It's a lot more athletic, and sometimes you'll see pasties throughout an entire dance piece, and it's more just part of the costume and celebrating the way a woman looks.
And a man.
Yeah,
I mean,
and a
I
man
have seen
too,
a couple- I have
definitely.
seen
We've got both.
Yes,
There's something
yes.
for everyone.
Yes.
But they're all trained dancers, and they've all dedicated their life to dance, and they all really enjoy what they do. So it's fun, since I spent so much time dancing, to see people having that moment in their lives where they're making really close friendships in the dressing room and really enjoying the camaraderie that they have with other dancers on stage. And it's like this perfect moment in life that maybe they don't quite know it right now, but I can see it, and I know that it's just like this really special, magical thing that they eventually will look back on. So that's kind of why I love what I do.
And then what about the audience? Like, so I hear you talking about that you know that you're making memories for the dancers, even if they're at a younger point than you are, and they don't understand quite yet that they're going to have these wonderful memories because you've gone to that. You're a senior in that.
Yeah.
But what do you think your guest, because the Can is an exquisite experience, in my opinion. You really have created an ambiance that is exquisite. I mean, it's a wonderful, the red and the velvet and the gold, and it's lovely. When you're creating dances with your dancers, what are you thinking about for your audience? Like, you've got bachelorettes coming in, you have couples coming in, you've got, we're in Seattle, and so right now we're kind of a place that a lot of tourists come, or people that have just moved here to work in our tech industry. So as you're creating dances, what are you thinking about? What do you think they're going to think about? And like, how does that work?
I think we always strive to make things super palatable for everyone, so it's something that everybody can enjoy, and maybe some of the more artistic elements we're sneaking in through the back door a little bit. So it's somebody who doesn't have like a trained eye for dance or the arts or anything like that. They're not coming in trying to make sense of an abstract piece. They're coming in and feeling entertained, and like they're part of this little special magical bubble where everything's happy and you can leave your troubles at the door, and it's a celebration. So I definitely, to answer your question, we're thinking a lot about the energy in the room, and having the energy always have an equal balance of being up and then down, and kind of having this like perfect arc throughout the course of the evening. So people leave feeling a certain way.
Right. So you really are guiding people in their emotions. And how do you want people to feel?
For me, I want people to just be able to forget about everything that's happening in the world for an hour and a half. Right. And just to be able to just be in the moment and just be happy and look at other people being happy. And it's not about like gender or race or religion or anything. We're all just celebrating being human, and it's kind of a lovely thing. The other night, an older couple came into the show, and as they walked in, we couldn't really tell what type of people they were. And I turned to my husband, Chris, and looked at him, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Oh God, I hope we don't offend them. I always forget we have like these people that come into shows that are expecting a different experience, or something a little bit more like the ballet or something." But it turned out we brought the husband on stage, and they were celebrating their 75th wedding anniversary.
Oh wow.
And by the end, the woman was like standing up in her seat and cheering, and the audience was chanting the husband's name, and this is like a couple in their 80s or something like that. And I just was like, oh my God, I love this. I love that these people had that experience tonight and had a room full of people cheering and chanting their names. Just where else are you going to get that?
Right. It's
So
wonderful.
things like that are just like a reminder.
Yeah. So with life and with any like journey, because it sounds like you've been on this journey for a really long time. I mean, since you were 3 and now you have children older than 3. That's definitely a journey. It doesn't, in my experience, journeys don't go smooth. And if they do, they're kind of boring. Like really, you would stop, right? You work hard. So there have to be some highs and some lows. Tell me about some of the things that you personally have to overcome. You have to like think about, there are women watching, there are young women who this may be something that they want to do. And you've already gone up the trail quite a bit. So what are some of the trials and tribulations that you personally have had to go through to get where you're at today?
Well, I think as a dancer, you're always looking in the mirror and judging yourself and having teachers judge you and criticize you, which is what makes you better at your art form. Or going to auditions and being turned down, which is part of the job. Or having jobs where you get weighed once a week. So just a lot of pressure. So I think some of that you kind of internalize a little bit and are super hard on yourself. So I don't feel like I ever really struggled in those ways. I always knew that was part of the job. And it's really nice now to be at a point where I just kind of don't worry about that. I think at some points I kind of do that to myself a little bit just because I'm kind of used to that.
So you
super
have
hard
become,
on myself.
You've become hard on
I'm
yourself.
I'm my own worst critic.
Right.
So I watch things and I'm like, oh God. It's kind of a vulnerable feeling to think, is everybody else going to like this? Or even being in rehearsal, sharing my ideas with a room full of dancers. It's just, you're putting yourself in kind of a vulnerable position. But it's also good to be in that reversed role now and be the authoritarian or that figure and choose to treat my dancers differently, or I hope that I do, and nurture them and hopefully make them feel empowered and happy in their positions and nurtured. At the end of the day, it's a job and there are certain things that have to happen, but I want everybody to be able to like really enjoy their experience and what they do. So, yeah. That's one of the struggles. Right? I'm sure there's a million others.
No, I think that that's really, body image is something that's a conversation right now. And it's been a conversation forever, but it is something that comes up. And so I think being honest about the fact that it is a job, and part of the job is weighing in every week. I mean, to be honest, I would be screwed if I had to weigh in every week because I fluctuate all the time, right? Yeah.
We don't do that to our dancers, but it sucks.
I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. So I love that you just kind of knew where you were going, knew what you were doing, because you've always done it, and just were able to stay the course. Yeah. I think that's wonderful. I do. And I've known you for several years now, and I feel really blessed to know you, and really blessed to be able to see. I've gotten to see so many shows, and I remember watching you with, I don't know, fake cigarette, I assume. You can't smoke inside but you had a baby in your belly, and your leg was up on a ballet bar, and you were smoking a cigarette. I love that. That's the last time I saw you dance.
Yeah, that was like when I was just like too pregnant to perform anymore. I think that was one of my last shows where I was like, okay. My first pregnancy, I danced, so I was like 5 months. Okay. And then that time I was probably 3 months.
3 months. Like, you were showing already.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm trying to zip up my corset. Not gonna work.
But so now, what are you doing now? I know, of course, you've got Can-Can.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is happening at the Can-Can now? What can we look forward to in a couple of months? What are you working on? Tell us about.
We just opened Femme Fatale, which is a hugely new production for us. We are working with Prom Queen, who is a singer in Seattle and many other places. She's been living in Los Angeles too. And it's a story about Mata Hari. Google her, she has a very fascinating life. So it's called Femme Fatale because Mata Hari was one of the original Femme Fatales. And Prom Queen, Celine Ramadan, plays Mata Hari. And it's a loose storyline, but it's all about female empowerment. It's all original music. And it was really an epic creation experience with getting live music created, and I would be like in rehearsal waiting for the music to come in so I could set movement on the dancers. So it was kind of a wild experience, but that's what we've been working on. And then that will close September 30th, and then we'll go into Halloween.
And
A Halloween show at Triple Door.
Right.
This is Halloween. Zombie Cheerleaders from Hell at Can-Can, and then into Wonderland. So the year's pretty much over.
There you go. Done.
There's my
and
year.
done. And so how can people find your works? Like if somebody is like, oh, this woman is amazing, I wanna Google her, I wanna see what she does, what she's got to offer, how do people find you?
I'm kind of top secret, but
Good, by the way.
on Instagram at Fae Pink, and the cancan.com has all of our information about Can-Can.
Perfect. So people
Yeah.
can buy tickets and watch your choreography and
Yeah.
see
It's all live.
see it at work, what
Yeah.
you've done. And so as far as Seattle goes, I think I recall that you're pretty active still with the Seagulls. Is that right?
No, I'm not. I mean, I've made a lot of friends, and sometimes we audition dancers that have been part of the Seagulls, and I go to the reunions.
You go to the reunions.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's pretty active.
Yeah, it's like my alter ego, kind of. I'm also like a farmer by
I was
day.
gonna say,
and then-
so for me,
Yeah.
and because I know you, for me it's like the mindset, trying to imagine you as a seagull, because here we are at your house and I just had your radish pesto homemade and the eggs grown from your chickens, and you know, it is
my dirty little children running around.
no.
Yeah, that was like just an episode in my life.
Episode.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a huge football fan, but I love rhinestones, and I made a lot of good friends.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for letting us come into your home so that I could do conversations and cocktails
Yeah.
on the road. Thank you for feeding us prawns that you made
Yeah.
and for making amazing drinks.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, so next week we will be back at the Can-Can, and I look forward to seeing
We're
you
back
there.
at the Can-Can?
I mean, oops, not the Can-Can.
Which one again?
So I love going to the Can-Can. Next week, we'll be back at Cafe Racer, and I look forward to seeing you then.